Hello everyone and welcome to a game between TBCBM and Anima. This game taking place here on Last Refuge version 1.5. Well, Anima spawning as the blue human player on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, TBCBM spawning as the teal undead on the bottom left. I like your catch, just want to see some team play. Well, search CrotaGaming, search 2v2, those are on YouTube, and you will definitely find them. Probably have over like 300, 500 2v2 matchups there. Only the hand-picked best ones. There are never boring games here. That is true, though. The people, before I had someone screen all of my replays, I would just randomly choose games. And sometimes they would be great games, and other times they'd just be like, oh, this is just, like, we've seen this hundreds and hundreds of times before, and there's nothing wrong with consistency. It's just it wasn't particularly interesting. Now someone helps me choose my replays. Metaphysics, thank you very much. And, well, ensures that there's always some interesting element, some interesting tactic, something that makes the game close that isn't often seen. Only the hand-picked best ones, yep. All right, coming back around, talking about unusual strategies, we are looking at a Dreadlord first going up against a Mountain King first here on Last Refuge. So that Dreadlord first has become much more popular as of late because of Carrion Swarm. Having access to a very powerful level 3 Carrion Swarm to take down flying machines has been a big boost to the overall undead trying to battle up against humans. It feels like human players for so many years have been trying to find the magic secret sauce to go up against undead, and you know, getting sundering blades, changing of flying machines, well, where they have a little bit more hit points and this and that, trying to find that magic secret sauce, and well, it immediately pretty much. Oh, the footmen are we gonna see a 4-unit surround? Oh, trying to get a 4-unit surround. No, could not get the 4-unit surround off. There's another sleep there. 4-unit surrounds are generally very difficult to pull off, and there you go. Yeah, the okay, all right. Oh, is he gonna break it free? Oh, nope, he's not gonna break free that time. Yeah, so just goes to show you how difficult it is to execute a 4-unit surround, even on a sleeping stationary target. Still needs to do it 3 times. Or you can cast the funny ones who build farm on high ground and opponent couldn't find it. Yeah, like, yeah, things like that. Yeah. Mountain King, I'm going to go after this Forest Troll High Priest. Quick Storm Bolt there. The Rock Golem, the Mud Golem pulled away and now walking back. A little bit of an interesting mechanic, as the Rock Golem and the Mud Golem don't cast slow or that boulder toss when they're walking back. So a way to, well, minimize the damage. Meanwhile, Dreadlord opting to go for a fast expansion here. He opted to use sleep, and now you see why TBCBM really wanted to sleep that footman. Footman. He wanted to make sure that there was no additional scouting information revealed. By shutting down that footman early on, he could, well, go after this Ziggurat and this Haunted Goldmine relatively early, and, well, and now Anima is just kind of playing in the dark just a little bit more. We do not see a tech to tier 2 on either side as of yet, so no true indication what Anima is trying to do. As we see Skeletal Warrior, well, scouting out this Ogre Magi creep camp on the top left. All right, Dreadlord going to clear up the remainder of this creep camp here. Forest Troll Trapper. Is that Ghoul going to get taken down? Yes, he does. Axe to the back. The Ghoul could have attacked the Dreadlord and then gotten his lost aggro from those Forest Troll Trappers. Dreadlord now sitting at level 3, getting a Tome of Intelligence, and is he going to go for level 2 Carrion Swarm? That is the question I have here. Meanwhile, Militia now going after the Ogre Magi creep camp. The timing on this from Anima is a little bit later than normal, and I believe that there was a skeletal minion here earlier. He spotted the Militia most likely making a play over, so he must assume that an expo is underway. All right. Skeletal minions getting quickly ensnared there, clearing up the remainder of the creep camp. Level 2 Carrion Swarm is what is on the table, as the Nerubian Tower is already done upgrading, and Haunted Goldmine slowly getting saturated with additional acolytes. All right. Town Hall quickly getting built here. Mountain King has something to say about this expo. He does not want it, and at least he's going to try and challenge his opponent for it. Dreadlord gets a good carry-on swarm wave across all these units here, but with a second Forest Troll Shadow Priest, and, well, Anima making sure that they're not standing all together, not going to get mana effective, carry-on swarms any longer. All right, Forest Troll Shadow Priest quickly bursted down right there. Stormbolt Thunderclap. A bunch of low hit point ghouls now, as that was a level 2 Thunderclap there. The ghouls are trying to retreat back. Are we going to see the ghouls, well, fall down here? What is going to end up happening? A Stormbolt on that front ghoul could perhaps spell problems, as that Mountain King, well, Footman, is he going to get in some attacks there? Yes, trying to cause some pathing of Thunderclap, essentially getting 3 more ghouls down. Beautifully done. Carry-on Swarm now coming back the other way. There goes a Forest Troll Shadow Priest. Skeletal minions coming back out, but the Dreadlord doesn't have the ability to get all of the mana needed to constantly wear away at these units. Both sides going to be falling back, retreating. Clarity Potion on the Mountain King, followed by a Scroll of Regeneration for all the remaining units here. Meanwhile, what is that Dreadlord hoping to do? Dreadlord's hoping to shut down this expo, but with an Arcane Tower and a Scout Tower following up already, things are not looking good. Scroll of Town Portal inbound. Forest Troll trying to perhaps pick up another unit from that mercenary camp. That's not going to work. Mountain King gonna, well, is he going to get a Stormbolt off on anything? The ghoul kind of trips up on a pig. Anima gets or finds a Stormbolt onto the Forest Troll Berserker. There's a Thunderclap, slowing all of the remaining units down, and this is just going to be easy pickings again. 1 or 2 more shots once more, as another ghoul gets taken down. Mountain King doesn't have enough mana. Using a Clarity Potion, could lock and load and Stormbolt another ghoul again. Is he going to try and go after it? Yes, he will, and takes it down. All right. Leveling up, getting level 2 Stormbolt, getting a little bit more mana, plus the Clarity Potion, and that Mountain King now at level 4 compared to a level 3 Dreadlord. All right, Crypt getting added across here, tech to tier 2, about 2/3 of the way done. Mountain King has just finding a bullet in the chamber consistently to go after these ghouls and other units. Skeletal Minion wants to, well, give a little love tap to that Mountain King, not allow the mana to regenerate, but that Mountain King constantly, in a threat level. All right, Mountain King, is he going to get love tapped here? Down to 112 mana, yes. Gets love tapped there. No Forest Troll Shadow Priest, abolish magics. The Footman didn't finish them off or get in the way, really, as the Mountain King, going after this Ogre Warrior creep camp, has picked up a Scroll of Healing, saving that mana for the Dreadlord. Oh, there's a Carrion Swarm. Who got the experience? Dreadlord looks like he got that experience right there, as you're looking at the Forest Troll Trapper getting taken out. That Carrion Swarm also helping clear out the remainder of this creep camp. A little bit of an unlucky moment there. There's a Carrion Swarm ripping on through, and that Dreadlord was waiting for the rest of the human army to get within range before the Carrion Swarm ripped through and is able to get in a good amount of damage again. Dreadlord is sitting at level 3. Death Knight is getting trained up. Lich will be coming in at Black Citadel time. And now the Dreadlord is running up on 2 bases and training up Gargoyles as well. Forest Troll Shadow Priest and Forest Troll Berserkers are going to be higher priority targets for that Dreadlord's Carrion Swarm. All right, coming through. There's another Carrion Swarm. Footman trying to finish things off here. Dreadlord does have Boots of Speed. Is he going to be able to find another a good Carrion Swarm there? Down to 1 second. 1 second there. Oh, Scroll of Healing used in time, as the Dreadlord now being forced to retreat back. Mountain King perhaps was waiting to bait for that Carrion Swarm, but doesn't realize, hey, wait a second, the Dreadlord doesn't have enough mana now, but he could have enough mana here in just a second, and goes, I thought it was 90 mana. No? All right, there goes an ensnare there. We're looking at the Dreadlord trying to make his way through. Is he going to get damage down? Mountain King, Carrion Swarm. Wow! The Scroll of Healing nearly was used a little bit late, but the natural regeneration of these units, coupled with a couple of perhaps early heals from the Force Troll Shadow Priest, keeping those units alive again. All right, Dreadlord without mana, no longer that scary. Trying to go after these targets here as a Gargoyle is going to be forced to retreat back. Dreadlord does not have an easy way out, gets storm bolted, and now we're looking at a 5-unit surround going the other way. Death Knight shows up to the party and says, surprise, I have heals. Death Knight also comes bearing gifts and using Death Coil, and now also a Scroll of Town, or I believe there's a Scroll of Town Portal on the Death Knight. Yeah, can ensure some kills, well, without putting that Dreadlord in danger. All right, Dreadlord up to 95 mana right now. Gargoyles going to town on the Ogre Magi. Now the Blood Mage is going to show up, perhaps give a little bit of siphon mana problems to the Death Knight and the Dreadlord. Slaughterhouse, I do not see one. Nope, I do see one here. And we are now transitioning into the Temple of the Damned. We could be looking at a transition into into Necromancers, and with no Arcane Sanctums and flying machines to deal with the Gargoyles, the Necromancers could perhaps spell problems. No, it's going to be Banshees instead for possession on perhaps inbound Knights as we are getting to Castle. All right, difficult to figure out what these two teams and players are trying to do here. Flying Machine down to 144 hit points. Meanwhile, Death Knight and Dreadlord going to clear out to this creep camp here. The Flying Machines, just getting in some easy shots and damage as they're looking to back away again. All right, trying to finish off the Force Troll. High Priest, Goblin Shredder joining in on the battle as well. Death Knight gets up to level 2. Healing Ward placed down. Going to heal up all of these units, units pretty easily. As we should be looking at Obsidian Statues finally joining in with that Dreadlord here. All right, no Lich as of yet. No Orb of Corruption as of yet either. We are looking at level 3 or level 2 sleep as the units are gathering together. TBCBM sitting in low upkeep. Meanwhile, Anima sitting in no upkeep, building up a little bit of a bank. Mountain King has gotten to level 5, so the Blood Mage is creeping by himself. It looks as though even the map is trying to help clear out some supply there. Nope, Ogre Mauler getting taken down, and Blood Mage is sitting at level 2. I don't know if the Mountain King took any of that experience, though. As we're looking to go after this far side here. Fly Machines going up against Gargoyles. The Fly Machines do get that first attack with that 500 range, but aside from that, the Gargoyles, if they are in equal numbers, Gargoyles should be able to tear apart those Fly Machines pretty fast. All right. Auto attack. Death Knight has the Orb of Corruption. Carrion Swarm trying to find a little bit of those targets again, but the Dreadlord is pretty much just wasting mana as the Mountain King. Are we going to see a Stormbolt or something else go down and a Siphon mana here? All right. Dreadlord trying to go up against. There's a Thunderclap there. Blood Mage going to turn back around. There's Anti-Magic Shell, Stormbolt preventing the damage. Paladin now joining in. Lich going to be coming in on the fight as well. Perhaps some Frost Novas as the Blood Mage going to be in some big problems. There is a Potion of Invulnerability on the Blood Mage, and Healing Wards being placed down as well to try and stay alive. Siphon mana going back the other way. Blood Mage getting some precious mana, but no longer under the effect of that Potion of Invulnerability, and as more and more mana drained off from that Dreadlord. Blood Mage trying to retreat back. There's a Holy Light Frost Nova. Blood Mage about to get taken down to 31 hit points, and it looks like he's somehow stayed alive. There's another Holy Light right there, and he is dancing again, down to 78 supply, or 78 hit points, and still, finally falls. Knights now joining in the fight here. Flying Machines going after the Gargoyles. Once the Gargoyles are taken care of, what can the Flying Machines really do? Knights are coming in to engage here. Lich could be in trouble, down to 95, 85 hit points. He gets taken down. And both sides are still fighting. Again, Obsidian Statues unable to keep that Lich alive. Healing Ward was available as both sides are still engaging here. Dreadlord looking to perhaps finish off another unit or two of these, these Fly Machines getting swarmed down here now. as gargoyles are starting to own the skies and take a little bit more of a commanding lead. Meanwhile, banshees, still only at adept training, will not be able to possess these high priority knight targets, as the obsidian statue here gonna get taken down. One obsidian statue down. Paladin could be in a little bit of trouble. Does have a potion of lesser invulnerability. He's gonna go ahead and use it. Mountain King doesn't have that much mana. This is just an absolute, well, crazy battle going on every which way. Flying machines going up against the gargoyles. Flying machines are just doing that shoot and scoot strategy, taking down all of the gargoyles since they have superior numbers. All right, coming back through here. Fly machines looking to go after those targets. There's a Stormbolt finding a Banshee here, going to go after the gargoyles again and again. And another gargoyle going to get taken out. Perhaps another round of a gargoyle going to get taken out there. No, that looks as though that gargoyle down to 17 hit points. Is it going to be able to regroup? It will be able to, as the fly machines do not want to fly within range of the Black Citadel's piercing cold attack there. Stone form gargoyle carrion swarm ripping through the bottom half of those fly machines, as those fly machines now retreat, perhaps having to go back to this airfield here and be repaired. 71 supply compared to 75 compared to 49. TBCBM now falling behind in that, well, on that supply chase here. We are getting Banshee mastery training, so we could be looking at possession making a very big deal. We don't see Staff of Sanctuaries yet coming across from the human army, so they're not going to be able to, well, teleport those units straight back home. Ogre Lord mana getting drained, but it's only the Blood Mage at level 1 siphon mana. The Ogre Lord going to get taken down pretty quickly. Cloak of Flames should be picked up by that Mountain King. Yeah, should be picked up by the Mountain King. Ogre Magi going to get taken down now. Level 3 on the Blood Mage. Mountain King shouldn't be anywhere near this fight, as the Paladin and the Blood Mage really need the experience more than anything. There's level 3 now on that Paladin. Meanwhile, same creeping happening here on the far side. Dreadlord looking to get to level 5, and, well, it looks as though the Lich will get to level 2. Dreadlord needs a little bit more. I don't believe it will get there. Only a handful more creeps. Actually, no. Ogre Magi, Forest Troll, Warlord. Trying to figure it out. Can't click on any of the units. Nope. Dreadlord still sitting at 4.8. There's a healing ward placed down, healing up some of these units. The Obsidian Statue's not going to be getting that benefit. Dreadlord still needs a little bit more experience, as this orange creep camp could be what is finally needed. Lich does also have plus 12 auto attack, or, well, excuse me, plus 21 auto attack between the Orb of Corruption, the Claws of Attack plus 12, and that Circlet of Nobility, and now adding in that a little bit of that True Shot aura. So that Lich's auto attack actually quite damaging indeed, as the Nightcrawler's going to get cleaned up here. What is happening? Undead spots the Flying Machine, spots all of these units here. Dreadlord still sitting only at level 4, really wanting to get to level 5 for that level 3 Carrion Swarm. We're going to be looking at an engagement. Well, all of the Stoneform Gargoyles completely just, well, heading to the ground here and creating a great wall. All right, that Knight had nowhere to go. Knight getting possessed here. What are we looking at? And all of these gargoyles just are on the ground, and, well, preventing any of these units from really getting any, or the Flying Machines from really doing anything either. All right, what is going to happen here? We are looking at the Dreadlord. Dreadlord is currently banished, taking some additional damage from Thunderclap. Siphon mana. Dreadlord is still sitting at level 4. Fly Machines going after the gargoyles now, as with this one Knight trying to fight back against all these units. 71 supply compared to 54. Gargoyles trying to turn the tide there. There was one good Carrion Swarm, allowing the gargoyles to start picking off some of those units, as we're still looking to fight back the other way. All right. A little bit of auto attack going back again. 42 supply compared to 68. Stormbolt finding the Lich. The Lich did have that anti-magic shell, and because of that, didn't take any damage, but still got stunned. Plenty of Knights here. 0-3 upgrades on those Knights. Flying Machines are 3-3 upgraded, as damage is still racking through here. All right, Blood Mage able to siphon mana. Lich forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal. Dreadlord trying to pull back the other way. Ghoul getting taken out by a Holy Light. More siphon mana from that Blood Mage again. We're looking at 3 bases for Anima, 2 bases for TBC BM here, as the main bases are starting to run out of gold. About a minute and a half of mining left. Then it will be 2 bases to 1 as the Banshees are slowly making their way out onto the battlefield, perhaps trying to get a little bit more possession going. And I thought that play with the Gargoyles was cute at first, but it didn't. Well, it wasn't enough to really pull out ahead. All right, we're looking at a siege engine ready to roll on in. Perhaps going to see a flanking attack, 80 supply compared to 57. Mortar team also able to lob attacks from very, very far away. You can see that mortar team attack coupled with that siege engine attack ready to go. All right, what's going to happen? Fly machines, carry-on swarm ripping on through. Death Knight, Dreadlord doesn't have enough mana for another carry-on swarm to really do damage, and the gargoyles, well, are quickly getting cleaned up. Siphon mana, suddenly the Dreadlord out of mana, unable to deal with those fly machines any longer, and the fly machines have owned the skies, removing the gargoyles from the battle. Meanwhile, Death Knight gonna fall at level 3, and this is just, well, the wheels coming off of this game for TBCBM. Anima would have, this is Anima's game to lose at this point, as he has a commanding lead, 72 supply compared to 43. All right, both sides still fighting their way through. What is that a knight? Yep, I believe that was a possessed knight. Gonna try and double back around. Holy Light on that Mountain King. Mountain King going into that avatar state. Perhaps gonna try and go after some additional targets. Storm bolting, thunderclap, anti-magic shell on all of the heroes. Carry-on swarm ripping through a couple more of those units. And Mountain King still immune to magic right now, as the Paladin is in the back here, unsure of how he can get more mana to heal. Meanwhile, I guess you can siphon mana from the Obsidian Statue, or because it's a mechanical unit. It's the only mechanical unit that has mana, so my apologies if I temporarily forgot whether or not you can siphon mana away. All right, going to siphon the mana back into the Mountain King. Mountain King, is he going to try to go for a Thunderclap? No, Stormbolt onto the Dreadlord. Dreadlord still alive because of that anti-magic shell. Finally, that anti-magic shell comes to an end. The Knights are trying to lead the charge here. Mountain King does have enough for a Stormbolt, has eyes on target, does the Stormbolt onto the Dreadlord. Dreadlord now going to get taken down. Didn't take damage from the Stormbolt, but still ends up getting, well, stunned long enough for the Knights to finish up the job. All right, a handful of Knights, very low hit point Knights here. Units want to try and retreat back. Is this Obsidian Statue going to get taken down? Staff of Sanctuary saves a unit there. There goes that, well, yeah, saves a Knight there. Flying machines do not have any bombarding abilities. Ghoul is going to engage low hit point Knight still wandering around here. And really waiting for Anima to close out this game, right? He has guard towers being positioned here. He can easily take that that last refuge location, unsummoning of the Altar of Darkness to get your heroes back. Dreadlord is still out of the game for now, as the mortar teams finishing off these buildings slowly but surely. Undead pushing through with this army. Anima sitting on 2,000 gold and also has nearly max supply here. Thunderclap coming back on through, perhaps going to go after the Banshees, going after all of these units. There's another Staff of Sanctuary. Death Knight getting mana drained here. Mountain King, and that is going to be at TBCBM falling to Anima. Anima just in a dominant control throughout much of this match. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Yeah, just overall domination, 30,000 total score more, hero levels, a drastic difference.